sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how good it is, how sweet it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to our Friday evening service. You know, when Hazan Mimi sings how good it is and how sweet it is to be together, I'm looking at this Zoom screen and seeing all of you here, and it is so nice to see you and to be in virtual community, to feel like we're here together. If you're joining us by live stream right now, if you are on Facebook Live, if you're on YouTube, you can feel free to join us inside the Zoom room. Actually, we love to get to see your faces. So you can just log off and you can find the link in our Shabbat email. We're going to continue now on page 14 with Ya'alo's Sadai.
6 lines down, everybody. Ya'alo Sadai, B'chol asher bo Ya'alo Sadai, ay 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 ay, Ya'alo Sadai, B'chol asher bo Ya'alo Sadai, ay 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 ay, asher anenu ko atzei.
We continue on page 16, or Zarua.
Four lines from the bottom. Or Zarua, Lat Sadiq, Uyishmelev Simcha. Or Zarua, Lat Sadiq, Uyishmelev Simcha. Or Zarua Lat Sadiq, Uyishmelev Simcha, Uyishmelev Simcha. Or Zarua Lat Sadiq, Uyishmelev Simcha, Uyishmelev Simcha. Lai 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 yalla lai.
We'll continue now with Lecha Dodi. We'll start on page 23 with the first verse, and then we'll move to page 25 with the last verse. And when we get to that last verse, we'll have you rise and face the entrance of whatever room you happen to be sitting in. Page 23, Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kalai, yadalai, yadalai, yadalai. b'nei Shabbat v'kavela lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 b'nei Shabbat v'kavela shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad hishmi'anu el hamiluchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad v'shem u'tiferet v'litila lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 b'nei Shabbat v'kavela lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 b'nei Shabbat v'kavela Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala gam b'simcha u'b'tzola toch emunei an segula boi chala lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 b'nei Shabbat v'kavela lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 b'nei Shabbat v'kavela.
We continue on page 27, Mizmor Shir.
Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat tov lehodot l'Adonai ulezamer l'shimcha elyon ulezamer l'shimcha elyon Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat tov lehodot l'Adonai ulezamer l'shimcha elyon ulezamer l'shimcha elyon להגיד בבוקר חסדך להלל בלילות עליה צבא עלי נבל עלי היגיון Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat tov lehodot l'Adonai ulezamer l'shimcha elyon ulezamer l'shimcha elyon ulezamer l'shimcha elyon ulezamer l'shimcha elyon.
We rise for Baruchu, page 39a.
Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Lai la la la. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed La 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 Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uven laila, Adonai tavaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, Tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv aravim.
Amen. We continue on page 40 with Kihem Chayenu.
Kihem chayenu, ve'orech yameinu, uvahem negeyom v'layla. Kihem chayenu, ve'orech yameinu, uvahem negeyom v'layla. Kihem chayenu ve'orech yameinu, uvahem negeyom v'layla. Kihem chayenu ve'orech yameinu, uvahem negeyom v'layla. V'yavatecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael.
We join together in the Shema, page 41.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadivarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha Bishinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'od al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha v'hayam shmoni.
Can you quietly?
Leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem lelohim Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet.
We continue on page 44, Mi Chamocha.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neder b'kodesh nora tehilot. Oh, say let's write with me. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neder Adonai Ga Yisrael.
We turn to page 45 and ask God to shelter us in peace throughout the night. Hashkivenu.
So this Hashkivenu is one we did last month. If you don't know it, you will. I've done it the last couple of times, and hopefully you'll catch on quickly. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'ha'amideinu malkeinu l'chaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'ha'amideinu malkeinu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'ha'amideinu malkeinu
We continue with Vishamru, page 46.
Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti leolam, oti leolam, oti leolam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit
This morning in my Talmud class, we read a passage that was essentially a prayer someone could recite to help them understand their dreams, like for good dreams to come true and for bad dreams to bring healing. And this prayer was a way to petition God, and petition God specifically about something that's deeply personal, dreaming. And yet the students in the Talmud class noticed that the end of the prayer, we're sort of asking for peace, was in the plural. Bring peace upon us. And they said, this is so Jewish. This idea that even when we pray for ourselves, even when we are thinking of something that's so personal, dreams can't possibly be communal. They have to be personal. Even then, we always turn towards the communal. We always end up praying in the plural. Think about, we just a few minutes ago, Hazan Mimi led us in Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom. Help us, God, to lie down in peace. We're all going to go to sleep in our own separate homes this evening. And yet we don't say, God, lie me down in peace, but lie us down in peace as a community. We're so used to using the plural, the communal. But this week's Parsha Mishpatim brings us an interesting case actually of the opposite. So we've had many, many weeks of a narrative story, starting from the creation of the world and Adam and Eve and the creation of the first Jewish family, the patriarchs and matriarchs, all the way through slavery in Egypt and the escape from Egypt and receiving revelation at Sinai last week. And after many, many weeks of that narrative, we now turn to the nitty-gritty details of how this newly free people, the newly freed Israelites, are going to structure their community and live their lives. And we get laws in this week's Parsha that are specifically about how we treat each other and how we treat those who need help, the widow, the orphan, the poor, the people in our community who need the most help. And even though this discussion is one of community, right? This is all about how we're structuring our community. Even though it's one of community, much of this week's Parsha is written in the singular. If you take chapter 23 of Exodus, for example, which is contained in this week's Parsha, the entire beginning of the chapter, first 12 verses, are all in the singular, except for one little mention of the communal experience of slavery in verse 9, just that one little, right, just slavery. Everything else is in the singular, and that's so rare. So I want to hear from you, for those of you who are on Zoom with us this evening and might have answers to this question. Why do you think this is the case? Why do you think the rules of how we're supposed to live in society, how we're supposed to treat each other, how we're supposed to treat those who are often mistreated, why do you think those rules are written in the singular as opposed to the plural? You can raise your hand, use the raise your hand function on Zoom, or unmute if you have something to share. What do you think? Why would that be written? Lori?
To emphasize that we're all individually, personally responsible for each other.
Yeah, we're all individually, personally responsible for each other. I couldn't have said it better. That's great. Anyone else? Any other answers? I'm guessing by the faces on the screen, we all agree with what Lori said. And I agree too. I think the answer is that it's up to each one of us to create a just world. When a rule is written in the plural, sometimes we could easily look around and think, well, other people aren't following it. Other people aren't doing the right thing. Why should I? But when a rule is written in the singular, especially in the context of a tradition that writes so much in the plural, when a rule is written in the singular, each of us knows that it's incumbent upon us. It is incumbent upon me in the singular to do the right thing, to treat people fairly, to treat people with compassion and kindness. It's up to us as a community, but it's also up to me as an individual and to each one of you as individuals too. We're going to start preparing ourselves for the Amidah with Chatzi Kaddish, page 46.
We are as soon as I get the right key. Yitkada v'yitkada shemei rabba ve'amad yivrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'vyomei
v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yithaleh, v'yithalal, shemei kedusha berichu, le'elam min kol birchata, v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran ve'alma ve'imru. Amen.
We're getting ready for the Amidah now. You can find it from page 47 to 52, and we want to encourage you to take time for personal prayer, to pray in the Hebrew, in the English, or whatever prayers are in your heart. And we're going to rise and join together now in those first 6 words out loud.
Adonai. Sfatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha, Adonai, sfatai tiftach. Adonai, Adonai, sfatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Sfatai tiftach. Shalom Imramav Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael
going to join together now in a prayer for healing, because we know there are so many people on this Zoom and in our community and beyond our community who could use healing of body, of mind, of spirit, of soul. And we're thinking of all of you as we join together in Rifa'inu.
Rifa'enu Adonai V'nei Rapha. God, only you can bring true healing, and so we pray. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei Cholei Amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, Shekhinah, who restores our loved ones. Heal our people speedily in our day. And let us say, Amen.
We rise for Aleinu, page 56.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשה כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אין מלכנו אפילו זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבותה אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, והארץ מתחת. אין עוד, על כן נקווה לך. ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
This week, we are remembering the following yahrzeits with love: Brooke Alexander, Stanley Alpern, Maria Altman, Louis Block, Helen Bomberg, Francis Braverman, Lillian Bulavsky, Maxine Bussell, Devora Dodi Ciobutaro, Stefan Dock, Joseph Albaum, Theodora Flesser, Bertha Gelfond, Lydia Glazer, Irving Gold, Fredka Goodrich, Fred Gottfert, Clara Halpern, Sadie Hoffman, Marilyn Jussum, Jules Carey, Warren J. Kaufman, Pauline Kaufman, Martin Klein, Elise Klein, Dolores P. Klein, Howard Klockman, David Krantz, Esther Kurtzman, Sarah May Lasky, Marion Levin, Ron Lee, Frank Lipkin, Henry Simon Lorch, Louis Miller, Harry Minkoff, Jack Norch, Yoav Pantilat, Maria Rebhun, Norman Reisman, Evelyn Rosenzweig, Evelyn Rubin, Bernard Schein, Kamran Shakiban, Harry Shapiro, Mo Sharf, Tom Mitchell Sherrock, Robert Seidner, Betsy Silver, Gerald Silver, Gertrude Spasser, Gary Starkman, Samuel Stone, Sarah Topi, Tilly Varnon, Evelyn Visselman, Erin Keene Visselman, Allison Warshaw, Anna Weiss, and David Welsh. For anyone who is observing a yard site or in a period of mourning, for anyone who has need or desire to recite Mourner's Kaddish, I invite you to rise and join with me. I will spotlight my own video so that if you unmute yourself, if you're here on Zoom, you can unmute, we'll hear your voice, but we won't see your video. Joining in with me, Mourner's Kaddish, page 58. Yitkadal, Shemei Rabba, De'alma, Tiwate, Malchute, Chayechon, Uvyomechon, Uvaye, Defol Beit Yisrael,
Bisman Kari V'Ru Amen. Meir Mai
Yitzbarach,
Yishba B'Pa'ar
Nase, Itadar, Italel,
Yitala
Shnei
Kudisha Brichu
Le'ela,
La
Ol
Birka Birka
Tushbechata,
Nechemata
Nechemata,
Ma V'Imru Amen.
Yehei Shlama Rabba,
Shema
Aleinu, Ve'al
Israel
V'Imru Amen. Oseh Shalom Imrama, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu, Ve'al Israel, V'Imru Amen.
Amen.
If you've unmuted yourself, I'll ask you to remute yourself so that we can make sure only I'm seen on screen right now. And we have a few announcements for you. So we want to welcome everyone who's joined us this evening, whether by Zoom or on live stream. We hope you'll join us tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. as we celebrate the bar mitzvah of Joshua Littman. Mazel tov to Joshua and the entire Littman family. That's in person and live stream. We will be in our sanctuary next Friday night for Bim Bam Shabbat with Rabbi Adam at 5:30, followed by our Friday night service at 7 o'clock. Next Saturday morning, we'll be in the sanctuary at 10 a.m. for our regular Shabbat morning service, as usual, both in person and live stream. And we have a mincha service next week as well at 4:45, where we'll celebrate the bat mitzvah of Chloe Feldman. And we wish her and her family a mazal tov. Starting Thursday, February 10th, we actually have a number of adult learning opportunities coming up. Our fabulous rabbinic intern, Evan Sussman, is going to be teaching a 3-part series called The Fantastic Jewish World of Mystical Creatures and Where to Find Them. Hopefully you got the Harry Potter reference there, but it's going to be an amazing class and you don't want to miss out. That starts Thursday, February 10th from 6 to 7 o'clock. Also on February 10th, hopefully you'll take a break for Minyan and then come back and join us at 7:30, where Jan Elbaum will be teaching a class on Jews in sports. We know the Super Bowl will be coming up that Sunday, and so we hope you'll, as you start preparing your chips and dip and guacamole and wings and everything else, that you'll also prepare your minds and learn a little about Jews in sports. So that's February 10th at 7:30. You can register on our website for all of these exciting classes and programs. There are always opportunities to be part of Temple Aliyah, from our Shabbat services to weekly study with each of our rabbis and the many social action and outreach activities through Community of Caring. If you'd like to join us in making meaning and making a difference, please visit our website for more information at templealiyah.org. Thank you for being a part of Aliyah's story, and thank you for making Aliyah a part of yours. We're going to conclude our service with Shalom Aleichem, page 5.
So before we do that, I just want to put a quick plug on a week from Sunday, February 6th at 11, our Sacred Space healing service will take place on Zoom, and it's not recorded, so it's a safe space and a sacred space and a place with a little quiet meditation. So I hope you'll join me and just be present. Anyway, Rabbi Galko said Shalom Aleichem, so let's do it. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, buen Shabbat, good Shabbos.